We're going to be looking at our stoichiometry problems, and the first thing we need to do is define what stoichiometry is. And on the board I've written down the definition. Stoichiometry is mathematical relationships in a balanced chemical equation, which means to us that if we know what the chemical equation is and we know the mass or the moles or an amount of any of these substances, we can figure out the relationship between all of them, and then we can figure out, for example, in this problem, the grams of water that we should have produced here. And so our steps to a stoichiometry problem, step one is that we need to balance the equation. Since balanced chemical reaction is in the definition, then we have to start with a balanced chemical equation. So in the equation that I wrote over here, it's not balanced currently, and we have two hydroxides here and only one on this side, so I need to put a 2 in front of that, and then I need to put a 2 in front of my HCl to balance it out. And so now we have a balanced chemical equation. The next thing that we need to do is we need to take our given amount and convert it into moles, because remember, moles is our comparison. That's how we can compare everything, is with the number of moles. So step two, we're going to convert the given to moles. So I'm going to do that right here. I've got 15 grams of calcium hydroxide. And 1 mole of calcium hydroxide. If I look on my periodic table, I'll find that the mass of calcium is 40.08, mass of oxygen is 16, mass of hydrogen is 1.008. So when I add all those together, I get a mass of 74.096 grams. And then if I get out my calculator and do the math, I'll find that I have 0.202 moles of calcium hydroxide. The next step is probably the most confusing step for students, and it's just making a mole ratio. And the mole ratio in this case is simply a coefficient ratio. So these coefficients tell us that if I have 2 HCl's and 1 calcium hydroxide, I'll make 2 waters and 1 calcium chloride. And so I put this down as number 3 is the coefficient ratio, which is going to be equal to whatever our given amount coefficient, and then on top is our unknown, and our unknown is whatever we're solving for. Okay, don't overcomplicate this. The unknown is what you're solving for. So in this case, I'm solving for water. So if I start with my given amount of moles, 0.202 moles of calcium hydroxide, so I've got my coefficient ratio here. I have a ratio of 2 moles of HOH to 1 mole of calcium hydroxide. And you see how moles of calcium hydroxide can cancel out. So that's why we do that step. And then step 4 is to convert to any unit. So now that I'm in moles of HOH, then I can convert to whatever unit my problem's asking me for. In this case, it's asking me for grams. And so to do this conversion, I would take my 0.404 moles that I have here. So 0.404 moles of HOH. 1 mole of HOH. If I need to convert to grams, then I need the molar mass of HOH. 16 for oxygen, 1.008 for every hydrogen. So this will be 18.016 grams. And so that is going to be equal to 7.28 grams of HOH. So I can write that back up here, 7.28 grams. And that is how you solve a stoichiometry problem. Don't overcomplicate it, just follow the steps, balance, convert to moles of the given amount, use your coefficient ratio, and then convert it back to whatever unit you're asked for.